Hey everybody, I'm back with another Death Bottle reaction. Trying to keep my promise last week. Uh, with a commenter last week, I believe it was Derp something. I'm sorry if I'm blanking on your whole name, but he wanted me to react to the Thanos versus Darkseid Death Battle. So here it is. I was initially going to do it Thursday, like I said I would, but I instead put up the Death Battle videos regarding the Power Ranger Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, respectively, because of the recent unfortunate passing of Jason David Frank, who played those the Power Ranger. And I thought it was kind of like circumvent the video, but I want to, since I have like so much time off right now from work, I figured why the hell not? Let's add in an extra video because I want to make sure, because I like keeping my promises and I said I would, so I'm doing it now. So Thanos versus Darkseid. One of those matches that people just really are invested in to know who would win between these two just infamous villains in Marvel and DC that legit pose a significant threat cosmically that required a whole team of heroes to deal with. And sometimes Superman can take on Darkseid, but just barely, because Darkseid is like one of the new gods of DC Comics. So he's like such a threat that he could actually hold his own against Superman. That's how big of a threat he is. But sometimes just to get a little bit over that edge, it takes almost the entire Justice League to like fight against this guy. So here we go. And of course you got Thanos, and of course they gotta use the Infinity Gauntlet with him to because that's his like that, well, at least it was his arsenal that one time during the Infinity Saga movie and comic, but he became famous from that situation. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna implement that. So without further ado, let's don't forget to support Death Battle, of course, as well as like this channel, as well as hit the notification bell if you want to support my channel and all the content I provide, whether it's reaction videos, spoiler review videos regarding comics, movies, TV shows, as well as my video game walkthroughs. Please check all that out. Links are in the description. And now, let's begin.
Power. Some spend entire lives in search of it, while for others, it is their birthright. But what truly matters in the end is how it's used.
Like with Thanos, the ultimate villain of the Avengers.
And Darkseid, arch nemesis to the Justice League.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Over 1 million years ago, when mankind's evolution first broke away from the apes, the cosmic celestials arrived on Earth. They experimented on the human race, creating 3 separate variants. The powerful and beautiful Eternals, destined for immortality. Those with a latent mutated gene, which would one day spawn the X-Men. And a deformed, disturbing subspecies known as the Deviants.
Like that one website with all the porn.
What?
Anyway, the Eternals eventually colonized the moons of Saturn thanks to this science wizard named Mentor, whose collar's like the lampshade I put on my dog to make him stop licking his junk.
Charming. But while the Eternals seemed like a perfect people, Mentor's own son would change this forever and force the cosmos to its knees. His name was Thanos.
You were a fool to betray me, Ronan. Prepare to meet your doom.
Thanos was born into a life of luxury. Sure, his mom went totally insane and tried to kill him right away, but what do you think you'd do if you popped out a creepy California raisin baby?
It seems the Celestials' experiments weren't quite so different from each other. Despite his eternal heritage, Thanos' large, disproportionate body and thick purple skin were thanks to a deviant mutation.
Which you'd think would mean everyone would hate him, but nope! The Eternals were super progressive and totally cool with a wrinkly grimace walking around.
In fact, Thanos was greatly admired for his exceptional intelligence and creativity. He was set for a positive and decorated future.
Until he threw it all away for a girl. Hey, I don't blame him. Lots of guys do crazy shit for hot chicks, especially when you're a secret murder-happy psycho who's obsessed with the physical manifestation of death.
To earn Death's reciprocal love, Thanos took a journey, a quest, to ravage the universe in her name.
And as an Eternal, he had plenty of superhuman power to do it. He was already the strongest and fastest Eternal around.
At some point, I need to do a comic book review of the Infinity Quest and the comic book event. I just gotta, at some point in the future. I not right away, but man.
But he boosted his power even more with bionic and magic enhancements.
And while his physical and psionic abilities are impressive, his incredible genius led to building massive spaceships, shields that can withstand planet-level attacks, and even a time window.
And the most badass throne ever! It comes packed with its own laser weapons, light speed travel, and it can teleport through space and time!
And unlike most Eternals, Thanos has also dabbled in the mystic arts. Petrification, curses, even some of his throne's abilities seem to be more magic than hard science. All of this potential makes Thanos an incredibly dangerous foe.
Yeah, good luck trying to hurt him. He can survive pretty much anything, including a gun specifically designed to kill him. He even shot himself in the face with it just to prove how goddamn awesome he is. Don't try that at home, kids.
He's strong enough to overpower 2 Thors at once, snap a universal weapon known for its extreme durability, and even lift the gargantuan Galactus engine.
A giant super rocket big enough to move planets. According to Mr. Fantastic, and that guy knows his stuff, this thing is hundreds of miles long.
While the Galactus engine's size seems to vary from comic to comic, Reed's assertion matches its appearance when it propelled Ego the Living Planet. By examining the engine in 3 separate parts, applying the density of steel, and comparing Ego's diameter of 4,165 miles, we've found that Thanos must be lifting about 50 quintillion tons. That's like holding up 140 trillion Empire State Buildings.
And he's doing this inside the gut of a living Kurt Russell planet that eats other planets and even stars. Man, I thought I had an iron stomach.
But destroying a star isn't a simple thing. Any energy directed toward a star would just be absorbed and adapted to. Only by completely nullifying a star's constant energy output can it be eliminated.
So Ego's stomach acid must be deadlier than frigging supernovas or a black hole. He'd probably love Mama Boomstick's world-famous ghost pepper pie.
Ugh.
It's fine, just dip it in some squirrel paste.
Surviving the stomach of Ego isn't so far-fetched for Thanos, considering he's also survived a dip in a black hole, extreme reality warping across the metaverse, and the voice of Black Bolt.
What's so special about this guy, you ask? Well, with just a whisper, he obliterated 1 billion tons of rock. This guy can easily break a planet with just one shout, and Thanos took 3 of them to the face.
Although Thanos isn't known for being a speedster character, he's still quick enough to battle the likes of Silver Surfer, a being who can cover 500,000 light years in just a couple of seconds, putting him over 3 trillion times faster than light. With so many impressive showings, it's hard to truly find a weakness.
Except for one.
Oh, god damn it!
Thank you. Glad to be here. It's me, Deadpool, slayer of Deathstrokes, befriender of ponies, and breaker of mad titan hearts. And like Casanova, the ravenous reaper can't get enough of me, and Thanos just hates that. Ooh.
Well, Thanos did curse him so he couldn't die and be with her.
I know, right?
Yeah,
He's a
that
big
happened.
purple crybaby. Have you seen that chin, though? It's like he got hit in the face with a slap chop.
Don't you have like a party in Ponytown to be at?
Ah, come on, buddy. You can't have a death battle season without Deadpool, right?
We did. The last one.
Nobody counts that one. I mean, that's a year you pit a dog in a trench coat against a goddamn bear. What did you think would happen?
Yeah.
Whatever. I know when I'm not wanted. See you next year. DP out.
Oh, good riddance.
Even with all of these powers and abilities, Thanos still felt he needed something more to impress Death. Think he's compensating for something, Wiz?
Oh, absolutely. So he
Thanos
built
cop.
the Infinity Gauntlet, a golden glove which harnessed the power of 6 multicolored gems, known as Infinity Stones. With these, he could control the full spectrum of space, reality, mind, power, soul, and time.
And with those powers combined, he summons Captain Planet.
Well, more like the destruction of half the universe, but sure, whatever.
Steve?
Same difference. But wait, isn't the Time Stone the green one in Doctor Strange's necklace?
When that happened in the theater, like a lot of kids lost their freaking mind. It's like, I think that's like a record or something. The most death in a movie I ever witnessed personally. Just half of the universe, all like just wiped.
Well, in the movie
But it's
universe,
all
the
half
Time Stone
white.
is green, but in the original comic series, it's orange. This is because every universe has its own unique Infinity Gauntlet that works exclusively there. And sometimes the stones are different in color. Here, just follow this handy diagram I made.
Yeah, don't care. So with all the stones, he wiped out half the universe with only a snap of his fingers. But he also started going a bit crazy and began to doubt his ability to perform. Hey, happens to the best of us.
Yet it never keeps the Mad Titan at bay for long, whose constant lust for power and godly status in the universe is only matched by his drive to just kill everybody.
Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Or should I say, I am. Josh Brolin is amazing as Thanos. It's just like the other intimidation. He's soft-spoken, but like, you know, it's purpose behind his voice.
"10 billion years ago, the primeval old gods clashed in a cosmic civil war called Ragnarok.
That the one with Thor and Jeff Goldblum?
No. Yes, kind of. The battle was so great that the result was an explosion that tore the gods asunder, sending a great god wave throughout the metaverse, eventually birthing a new generation known as the New Gods.
How original! Well, some of these include Alpine Space Skier, Fancy Pants Shakespeare, and this cyborg spider Humpty Dumpty. Half of these guys ended up on a beautiful paradise world called New Genesis, while the rest got stuck on an actual fireball called Apocalypse. With a K.
Among these damned souls was Prince Euxis, second in line to the throne behind his older brother Drax. Not Dave Bautista Drax, but DC Drax.
Aw, man, I really like that guy. He's not afraid to say what he's thinking.
You are horrifying to look at, yes.
To rule Apocalypse, Drax was meant to enter the mysterious Omega Pit and absorb the Omega Effect, a force of destructive entropy bound within Apocalypse.
But being the crafty bastard he was, Euxis tricked DC Drax into getting killed and stole the loot for himself.
And so the Omega Effect transformed Euxis into the physical manifestation of tyranny, Darkseid.
Now what? Now you die.
As the king of Apocalypse, Darkseid entered a war on the universe. Whether he was
Red Bull.
kicking New Genesis ass or giving the Man of Steel a hard time,
Every Christmas, Santa gives him a lump of coal. Like, Darkseid would give a fuck.
Darkseid was always working toward his one goal, conquering all life.
And thanks to his new god physiology, he has incredible superhuman strength, speed, agility, and even immortality. He's already over 245,000 years old, and that's given him plenty of time to push the limits of the Omega Effect.
He's got a whole bunch of cool Omega powers that break all the rules of nature. He can teleport across time and space, fly at unthinkable speeds, warp reality around him, and grow supersized.
Something he's pretty used to doing. The scale between the Prime universe and Darkseid's own universe, the Fourth World, is vast. He travels between universes via boom tubes, which automatically adjusts his size to what is considered normal within his destination. Otherwise, he'd have a hard time fitting in, given that the normal size of a new god is about the size of a star.
Oh yeah, I've had that kind of trouble with my boomstick tube.
He can use various psionic powers like telekinesis and telepathy, and can easily manipulate sentient beings thanks to a cosmic awareness of the multiverse powered by 18 divine senses.
You know, I bet he never forgets where he leaves his keys.
Like a space-age necromancer, Darkseid can possess living or deceased beings, controlling them like puppets. He can even control basic inanimate objects, just like the Nomad of Nowhere.
Blah, holy shit! Wiz, never thought I'd say this, but I might have had too much to drink.
But Darkseid's deadliest technique is his signature Omega Beams. These burning lasers of
Those things are
hatred are
deadly.
capable of instant sharp turns and tracking multiple targets at once.
They're splitting up. They can do that? They're locked on us.
On contact, the beams can either disintegrate their target, transmute matter, erase beings from existence,
That
or trap
struck
enemies
me
in the...
when that police officer we seen for like a good season of Superman the animated series, it just gets evaporated by Thanos just to be petty and like a total dick. Man, that was hard.
Omega Sanction. The Omega Sanction is a sort of life trap. Its target enters a self-contained reality where they live out an infinite number of lives for eternity.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad. I'd just do a Bill Murray and use all those lives to learn piano or save a dog or... Yeah, that's probably about it.
Well, there's a catch. Each life in the Sanction gets progressively worse as it goes, including how you die. When the third Mr. Miracle was trapped in it, he was fairly unaware, until he was beaten, burned, mutilated, and castrated, broken to a point of intentionally overdosing. And that was just his first life in the Sanction.
Oh. No thanks. I'm good.
To overpower the multiverse, Darkseid would face some pretty steep competition. However, his power eclipses those of even some of the strongest heroes around.
He's fast enough to take...
I think like Batman was, as far as my knowledge, it was the only one to not outrun, but outwit the Omega Beings in Justice League, the animated series, whereas like he was outpacing the thing, but then jumps on one parademon and use him to block the thing just to keep that thing from, to get a target, just not him. And that was like, dang, that was like the most badass Batman move. Because it's like, wow, he's the only one to actually outrun, or at least outwit Darkseid's Omega Beings. That blew my mind. Like, whoa, he's good.
Take a trip to the Source Wall in just a few seconds. That's at the very edge of existence. So, like, you're not gonna be able to map quest that shit.
The edge of the observable universe is about 45 billion light years away, and
A lot of comic book fans, me included, theorize that behind the DC Source Wall is the Marvel Universe on the other side. It's just the creators haven't just like made that canon or confirmed that. But, I don't know if they hold on for that tidbit for something bigger down the line, or just like let us just have that little fan theory, because nobody wants to work with each other, apparently, like they did back in the day. You know that the fans will like that, but they don't want to, mix their peanut butter with their chocolate.
Scientists hypothesize the actual scale is over 106 sextillion times greater. It took a whole year for the legendary Helm of Nabu to make this journey. But for Darkseid, all of 5 seconds. To pull this off, he'd have to be moving over 87 duodecillion times the speed of light.
Which is totally a real number that I understand. But if he's super big in Fourth World, wouldn't he have an easier time getting to the edge?
We're factoring the scaling across his universe as a whole. Besides, technically the Fourth World is 4 billion years older than our own universe, so the distance to the edge is probably even further.
He's so quick, he can choke out Superman before he even sees him move, or knock him out cold in just a few bitch slaps. And Superman can survive supernovas to the face. Also, since Darkseid wasn't affected by the Crisis Mega Reboot, it's still canon that he can blitz pre-Crisis soups who can sneeze solar systems away.
Darkseid is strong enough to crush a lantern ring with ease, destroy planets with his Omega Beams, and wipe out the Justice League with a single strike. Even with all this power, Darkseid believed he could not dominate the universe until he discovered his ultimate prize, the anti-life equation.
Ha! I knew numbers were bad for you! Take that, Miss Jensen and your stupid ruler!
The anti-life is technically an entity of its own, a fragmented piece of the source from which all life originates. However, Darkseid discovered a formula which essentially manipulates the anti-life's presence in all living things, in a manner which definitively proves that all freedom and hope are meaningless efforts.
So it's math that just makes you sad.
Yes, and a slave to Darkseid, but yes. So the anti-life is pretty weird, but you know what's even more so? The Darkseid that you think you know isn't actually Darkseid.
Say what now?
He became the very essence of tyranny itself. This non-corporeal god rests in the higher plane of Fourth World and molds avatars of his consciousness to interact with the multiverse around him. While each avatar is weaker than his true self, it's a necessary handicap, as his own existence in a universe other than Fourth World would shatter the laws of reality, ending time and space as we know it. The sheer power of the Omega Effect threatens entire cosmos, similar to how its equal, the Astroforce, could counter an Oblivion Bomb, capable of annihilating the universe in a single blast.
Holy shit! His avatar may lose some power, but it's still tough enough to survive a bomb Lex Luthor designed to rip apart existence, and a shot from Marvelous Marno's Master Blaster, which sounds like it was made up by a circus clown. And that kinda makes sense because apparently no life form can stand up to it. Just like clowns.
Except for Darkseid.
Well, Darkseid isn't immune to all guns. All you need is a neat little Radion bullet.
Think of Radion as the new god's kryptonite. Despite all his power, Darkseid is far from invincible. He's had his heart ripped out, his soul stolen by death, and his essence shattered by Superman, singing.
Hey, Darkseid, look at this photograph!
To this day, even after so many cataclysmic
Nickelback
events, the
reference.
Lord of Apocalypse continues his mission. Every living being in the multiverse will bend to the will of Darkseid.
It seems I have you to thank for my resurrection. Though your world will suffer slowly, I grant you a quick death.
What if digital could help your organization change?
Yeah, this dude, like, Darkseid is no joke, people. Like, seriously, no joke. Both of these guys are just threats.
All right,
on
the
a
combatants
higher
are
level.
set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, I need something that can sate my godly hunger.
We're in the holiday season.
Your first 3 meals free.
Blue Apron.
You can fly, you can teleport, it'll send you through time and space, and it's perfect for gaming. You follow me? Sure you do. You're a forward-thinking guy.
At last, there it is.
Hey, Thanos! Buddy! how are you doing? Rocking that chin as always.
Get off my throne and kneel. Face death at the hand of your new emperor.
You know not the infinite wealth of destruction I command.
You know not the infinite wealth.
Supreme Emperor, I'm galactic, sweeping away your tactics, crushing you under my feet. What has nothing to me, turn to dust. Let's punch it in feet, let's go with it.
Just hands behind the back, just
I'm the king of the universe now.
Dare strike me.
Put a stop to
Beg
now.
for the sweet release of gas.
You first.
And you still got his hands defense back.
Battle for the universe, let's get striking. To the power and the force of the mightiest fighting. Energy blast, hit fast. Moves like lightning. With a new god on the hands of a titan. I'm the king. I'm the king. Yeah, hard and pride crash like when stars collide. Feel it all inside. I'm ready for your soul to king. I'm the king.
Thanos got there.
Let's get it on. I'm here. Don't give me love, just feel. Since I made my feel, got the universe in my will. My power's making you deal. You ain't ready to roll. I got Death's phone number and I'm making a call. I'll walk through portals, step on the borders of time and space. You're never stopping this. King of apocalypse, turn planets into slaves. Better give me respect. I bring spirits to death down. The omega effect. Settle your debt. I survive to get to the throne. I never regret. Heads roll when I step in. Give me your neck.
Planets. It's at the solar system, I guess.
I am Thanos. Thanos is supreme. Thanos is God.
Thanos speaks in third person.
Battle for the universe, let's get striking. Feel the power and the force of the mightiest fight. Energy blast hit fast, our beams like lightning. Who can win a new god or the hands of a titan? I'm the king. I'm the king. Yeah, hard and pride crash like when stars collide. Feel it all inside, ready for your soul's demise. I'm the king.
Check the whole entire solar system. Why not?
I'm the king. Inside, I'm full of pride. I'm about to rise. Make me vanish like a planet. Just go ahead and die. War inside, I'm full of pride. I'm about to rise. Make me vanish like a planet. Just go ahead and die. War inside, I'm full of pride. I'm about to rise. Make you vanish like a planet. Just go ahead and die. War inside, I'm full of pride. I'm about to rise. Make you vanish like a planet. Just go ahead and die.
So just F this galaxy. Where's the TVA when you need them?
These games bore me, but this will bring a smile to my face.
It'll have to wait.
Oh yeah, it's this avatar.
Coward! Who are you? Who are you?
I'll show you.
This is who I am.
Snappy snap.
Your reality is far from my own. You have no power here.
I am Thanos. I am all things.
Don't work in other
This
universes.
is who I am.
That's the only drawback to the
Pitiful.
Death only talks to Deadpool.
Oh my god, it's Deadpool with a gun!
The biggest hits of the year.
Ah, come on. Not right now.
Behold in endless death.
So you watching any anime?
I am.
KO!
Oh man, That's the worst way he could have gone out, because now he's gonna be dying over and over and over.
Thanos was an incredible foe, especially while wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Unfortunately, the gauntlet had a fatal flaw.
Yeah, that golden glove only works in its own universe, and Darkseid could easily move the fight to new ones with his boomstick tubes. Universe hopping is kind of his thing.
The Reed Richards of the Interdimensional Council of Reeds figured this out. Its 3 founding members, Reed, Reed, and Reed, each possessed Infinity Gauntlets, but discovered that they couldn't work outside of their own universes.
The gauntlet had no problem making Darkseid's avatar not feel so good, but since Darkseid's true form was always in the Fourth World universe, Thanos couldn't actually finish him off with the gauntlet.
Even if this fight took place in entirely neutral territory.
Hold on. While the Mind Stone or Soul Stone could potentially deduce Darkseid's true nature, the Gauntlet's power still could not reach his true form. Also, in a Marvel and DC crossover event that is technically canon, Darkseid acquired the Infinity Gauntlet and learned of its limitations outside its own reality. Oh yeah, I remember that. Back in the day, I read that. I thought he was gonna be like, "Oh my God, Darkseid with the Infinity Gauntlet, this dude's gonna f everything up." But it doesn't work in the DC universe because each Infinity Stone only works in its original reality it came from.
The victor wouldn't change. Thanos' gauntlet wouldn't work, and true Darkseid's presence would actually just destroy everything just by being there.
But he didn't just lose because of the gauntlet. He really couldn't keep up with the space golem.
Even going toe-to-toe with a being as fast as Silver Surfer was nothing compared to when Darkseid took a trip to the edge of existence. This puts Darkseid almost 28 octillion times faster than Thanos.
And his Omega effect scales to the Astro Force, which could equal the Oblivion Bomb's universe-destroying blast. This means the Omega effect and Infinity Gauntlet were both pretty even in terms of destructive ability. But unlike Thanos, Darkseid can use his Omega powers whenever and wherever he wants.
Once he lost the gauntlet, Thanos could certainly survive star-level attacks, and even greater. But universal destruction is definitely a bit more than his purple Eternal Hide could handle. And even after that, Darkseid had plenty of ways to end the fight whenever he wanted, like the Omega Sanction.
Thanos was super powerful, but Darkseid was just faster, stronger, and even more ruthless.
And if you think about it, Thanos needed the Infinity Gauntlet to become a god, but Darkseid already was one.
Thanos just couldn't
Run the gauntlet!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
The winner is Darkseid.
And yeah, it has a massive, drawback on Thanos' part. Like, yeah, as powerful as the Infinity Stones are, if you're, outside the universe it comes from, you're, as the clerk from the TVA said, they're paperweights. And, Thanos is powerful on his own, although you're dealing with a new god that's on a whole different entire level. So, yeah. Victor goes to Darkseid. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this battle, because that was wild. I did like they added in like the snap, because like it would be kind of disingenuous if you didn't include that. But yeah, that was fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will be back next Thursday for more death battle reactions. So try to maintain 2 in 1 and not get overzealous and do more, because I already got like TV show, movie, comic book reviews that usually I relegate those to Thursdays. So like I try not to like overdo it. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. In a little while I will be getting back into more playing more Evil West game, as well as God of War Ragnarok, and I will see what else I can fit in for tonight. So anyway, I'm gonna give me something to eat really quick, refuel, and then get back into the streaming. So I will see you guys